At the graduation ceremony, cheers filled the hall until one arrogant rich girl turned it into a nightmare. In front of hundreds, she humiliated her black classmate with a slap, not knowing the truth that would destroy her. When the father stood up, the entire crowd gasped. What happened next shocked everyone. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments what time is it and where are you watching from. Let's start. The auditorium roared with applause as names were called one by one. Caps bobbed, tassels swayed, and families cheered. It was supposed to be a moment of pride. But for Vanessa Carter, every clap for someone else felt like nails scratching at her ego. She sat tall in her glossy black gown, blonde curls pinned perfectly, her diamond bracelet catching the stage lights. Her eyes, though, were fixed sharply on one person, Alicia Brown, the black girl from the other side of town. The girl who, despite working nights at the library and waitressing on weekends, had somehow not only kept up with Vanessa but surpassed her. Alicia hadn't just graduated, she'd been awarded highest honors, a recognition Vanessa had dreamed about since freshman year. They're actually giving her the medal. Vanessa hissed under her breath, lips curling. The girl beside her, another graduate, shifted uncomfortably, but said nothing. Everyone knew better than to challenge Vanessa. When Alicia's name was called, she rose, her cap tassel brushing her cheek. She walked to the stage with measured steps, eyes wide, lips pressed tightly as if she could hardly believe this moment was real. Years of sacrifice, of whispered insults in hallways, of professors who doubted her because of her background. This moment was hers, but not if Vanessa had anything to do with it. As Alicia reached the podium and shook the dean's hand, Vanessa's breathing quickened. Applause thundered, cheers broke out, phones lit up to capture the moment. And in that instant, Vanessa's envy boiled into something ugly. She doesn't deserve it, Vanessa muttered louder this time. She's a fraud, a charity case. This should have been mine. A few heads turned. Her words hung sharp in the air, but Vanessa didn't care. The applause only made her feel more invisible. By the time Alicia stepped down from the stage, Vanessa was on her feet. The crowd fell into a hush, sensing something wrong. Alicia stopped, surprised as Vanessa blocked her path. You think this is yours? Vanessa spat, her face twisted with rage. You think you belong here standing above me? Alicia froze, clutching the folder with her diploma. Her lips parted as if to respond, but no words came. Hundreds of eyes were on them, professors shifting in their seats, classmates whispering in shock. Vanessa, stop, someone near the aisle whispered urgently, but Vanessa didn't stop. She stepped closer, her voice slicing the silence. You're nothing without the school's charity programs. You're nothing but a pity project dressed in a gown. Alicia's face palled. That's not true. She whispered, her voice trembling. I worked for this. Worked. Vanessa's laugh was sharp, bitter. Do you know how hard I worked? Do you know the pressure of my family's name? My father donated more to this university than you'll ever make in your life, and still they hand my award to you. Her voice cracked, fury shaking her words. Then, without hesitation, she raised her hand. The sound of the slap rang out like a whip. Gasps tore through the hall. Some students screamed. Alicia's head snapped sideways, her hand flying to her cheek, the sting burning through her skin. She blinked rapidly, tears welling, staring at Vanessa in disbelief. Vanessa stood over her chest, heaving. Remember your place? She snarled. For a moment, there was silence broken only by the faint rustle of gowns as people shifted in shock. One professor halfway rose from his chair. Parents covered their mouths. Dozens of cameras caught the moment, flashes burning into memory. Althish's lips trembled. She wanted to speak, to defend herself, but the humiliation struck deeper than the pain. Her cheek throbbed, her vision blurred. She glanced at the crowd, hundreds of eyes darting away in shame or staring in horror. Vanessa sneered, satisfied with the silence. She leaned closer, hissing words only Alicia could hear. You'll never truly belong here. No medal will change that. Tears slid down Alicia's cheek. She gripped her diploma tighter, fighting to steady her breath. Every part of her wanted to collapse, to run, but she stood frozen, her whole body trembling. Behind them, murmurs grew. Did she just in front of everyone? This is insane. A young woman in the second row whispered, Why didn't anyone stop her? Her classmate whispered back, Because it's Vanessa. She gets away with everything. Vanessa smirked, adjusting her gown like nothing happened. She turned her back slightly proud, ready to reclaim the spotlight she thought was stolen. But then a voice rang out, not yet loud, but firm, a man's voice. The crowd shifted, heads turning toward the faculty section where a distinguished figure rose slowly to his feet, eyes locked on the scene. Alicia's trembling eyes widened. Her father and Vanessa had no idea who he was. You dare lay a hand on my daughter? Gasps spread like wildfire. Professors exchanged looks. Students craned their necks. Alicia's breath caught in her throat. She clutched her diploma tighter, whispering, "Dad!" Vanessa blinked, thrown off for the first time all afternoon. "Your daughter," she stammered, her smirk faltering. The man nodded once. "Alicia Brown is my child, and I am Charles Brown, CEO of this university's Alumni Office." The name hit the hall like a strike of thunder. Murmurs erupted. Everyone knew the Alumni Office. It oversaw scholarships, alumni relations, major donations, and the networks that helped graduates build their careers. This man wasn't just any father. He was one of the most powerful figures tied to the university. Vanessa's jaw dropped. Her eyes darted to the stunned faces around her, then back to him. I didn't know," she stuttered, her bravado draining. "That much is obvious," Mr. Brown said coldly, his eyes flicked to his daughter. Alicia's cheek still bore the red sting of the slap, her eyes glassy with unshed tears. "You humiliated her publicly, tried to strip her dignity in front of everyone. You thought you could," Vanessa's voice cracked. "But she doesn't even what?" Mr. Brown snapped. "Doesn't even look like you, doesn't even come from your world of privilege." Vanessa's lips trembled. For once. Words failed her. Alicia inhaled shakily. Her father turned to her, his tone softening. "Let them hear it from you. Why you worked those jobs, why you walked through fire to earn this degree, even though your father could have eased the way." Alicia hesitated, all eyes pressing down on her. Then she lifted her chin, her voice trembling but firm, "Because I didn't want anything handed to me. My father taught me that respect isn't bought with money or position. I worked because I wanted to prove to myself that I belong here. Every paper, every exam, every late night, I earned this. Not through favors, not through family ties. Through my own sweat." The crowd stirred. Professors nodded subtly. Students looked at her differently now, not as the quiet girl who worked in the library, but as someone who had clawed her way to the top with integrity. Vanessa shook her head furiously. "You're lying. If he's your father, why didn't you flaunt it? Why pretend to be one of us when you had power all along?" Alicia's eyes locked on hers. "Because I never needed to flaunt anything, and because, unlike you, I don't hide behind my father's name. I stand on my own." The words struck harder than the slap had. Murmurs swelled into agreement. A voice from the crowd muttered, "She's right." Another said, "She earned it. We all saw it." Mr. Brown straightened, his voice resonating across the hall. "This university is built on the principles of hard work, equality, and respect. Vanessa Carter, you have shown none of those values today. Instead, you've displayed arrogance, cruelty, and entitlement." Vanessa's face flushed crimson. "Please," she whispered desperately. "My family has given so much money, and that," Mr. Brown interrupted sharply, "is exactly the problem. You think money excuses character. It doesn't. Your behavior today will follow you. Alumni networks remember integrity, not arrogance. You've disgraced yourself and your family name." The crowd broke into whispers again. Some gasps, some nods. Vanessa's eyes darted wildly, searching for anyone to defend her, but no one moved. Even her closest friends looked away. Alicia wiped a tear from her cheek, her voice softer now. "I didn't want this scene. I only wanted to celebrate with my classmates, but if this is what it took for everyone to see the truth, then so be it." Silence fell again, heavier this time. Mr. Brown placed a steady hand on his daughter's shoulder, his expression both proud and pained. "You've proven everything I ever hoped for, Alicia. Not to me, but to them, and most importantly to yourself." The applause started quietly, one clap then another. Within seconds, the hall erupted. Students rose to their feet. Parents stood. Professors joined. The ovation shook the walls. Vanessa staggered back, pale, drowned in the sound of triumph that wasn't hers. Alicia lowered her eyes, humbled, overwhelmed, but for the first time in years. She felt completely seen. Mr. Brown looked at the crowd, then at Vanessa, his final words cutting through the noise. "Let today be remembered, not for her cruelty, but for my daughter's strength." And with that, Alicia stepped forward, her father beside her, the hall still thundering with applause as Vanessa slumped into her seat. "Forgotten? What would you have done if you witnessed this? Should money and privilege decide who deserves respect? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more powerful true-to-life stories, and share it so others never forget this lesson.